And welcome everybody to another edition of Unexplained Cases Medium. Happy Sunday to everybody. How are you doing? Because we kind of had a little bit of a late night last night. Some folks may or may not know what was going on, but hopefully they had a chance to tune into a pretty amazing investigation at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Oh no. No audio. No audio. I hate it when that happens, but that's the joys of lives, folks. So, hey, Susan. Hey, Kellyanne. Hello, Skeleton Crew. Yes, our peeps from last night. We've got Aaron and Steven in the house. Ezekiel, Sandy. Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. And how about now?
I can hear. Can you hear?
I can.
Thank God.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, it's bright, sunny skies in Maryland. I'm sure it's gorgeous as it always is out in LA, and it's a gorgeous day here on Unexplained Cases Medium. So, technical issues.
I'm glad we covered that.
Hey, I will link anything together, any and everything. I will connect them, doggone.
Well, I was whining before when no one could hear that I went to bed at 2 a.m, and then was like, I know that you are 3 hours ahead, so you must have gone to bed much later. But that's what I was crying about when you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl, but that's one where that was a little wee early. So this morning, 3 cups of coffee actually helped tremendously. So
I did an hour-and-a-half meditation.
See, well, it just in that case, if you combine the two.
No, you don't combine the two. You take away the coffee and you do the meditation. It does the same thing, minus the shaking and the anxiety that it brings.
I have no shakes. I have no anxiety. What are you talking about?
Do you want a quick little read right now? The power of repression.
help! I'm being repressed. Oh, great! See, that all of a sudden there's a Monty Python reference. So it's fabulous, and I'm sure everyone would just love to hear my Monty Python.
Well, I think it's more so who knows who. The only reason why I know who Monty Python is because of my parents, and we're pretty much the same age. So I'm betting not if anyone's younger than us, they don't know the Monty Python reference.
Well, and if they don't, this is a way to get cultured. Look it up, Google it, watch some stuff.
That's true.
It'll be fascinating.
Okay, let's start our pick a card. So when we start, but prior to picking, we always go through our little breathing technique. And I always stress the importance of expanding the belly, allowing the belly to expand, allowing the belly to pull in with the breath. It's so important that we do this because we spend so much of our lives with our belly sucked in and or mentally wanting that belly to be flat and consumed with that. And so when we're in meditation or when we're doing this quick meditation before pick a card, we are expanding the belly and we are not caring how big it gets, not caring how small it gets. We're just allowing it to move at its full capacity, okay? So close your eyes. I want you to release all the breath out. Once you've released all the breath, allow your breathing to move in and out through your nose, allowing the belly to move with each inhale, allowing the belly to move with each exhale. And I want you today to feel yourself grounded and rooted. So feeling as if the roots of a tree are connected and we feel those roots going all the way deep into the center of the earth. So we feel ourselves very grounded, very present, very much in the moment. And then we bring ourselves back to the breath. making sure there's a full inhale and a full exhale. Allowing that belly to move. And as you allow that belly to move, you feel the roots of this tree grounding you, forcing your presence. Notice your breath. Notice your connection to the breath, to the body, and now to these roots. Okay, here we go. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Okay. Card 1. I think this is why we did our grounding exercise. You can see it. Card 1, this is about your connection to the earth and your relationship to the earth. And I don't mean your relationship to others, how others view you, how you view others, how you view yourself. And so connection to the earth, relationship to the earth is all about who you are and why you're here. Rick, you can turn the music up a little bit. I don't know if you had it on, but
Oh, I've got it as loud as I can make it.
I hear your background, but I don't hear, we don't hear music, if that makes sense. Okay, so okay, so your connection to the earth, how you connect, how you connect with people. So I'm saying connection to the earth, not necessarily in a way, even though it is important that you're aware of your environment, you're aware of the planet, and you're aware of how you take care of it or don't take care of it. But this is about your connection to the earth, meaning how others view you, how you view yourself. This is what this time is about for you. It's about becoming aware of how others view you and how you view yourself, and how open you are to seeing the truth in that. Are you open to seeing the truth of how others see you, even if that's not how you think you're viewed? Are you open to viewing others in their truth, something that is more honest than how you want it to be, how you hope it'll be, how you think it should be? So how are you connecting to the earth and to those that are on the earth? This also has to do with animals, your connection with animals, or lack thereof. If you don't have a connection of animals, it may be time for you to have one. Whatever that means, it doesn't mean you have to have a pet, but there's an awareness. Who is your spirit animal? All of this is really important because it's bringing you to next steps in life, discovering who you are, why you're here. And all of these steps come together. So this connecting yourself to the earth, how am I viewed? How do I view myself? How do others see me is going to be imperative, because you have so many opportunities floating around you, yet you aren't able to fully ground yourself enough to reach out and take it. And it's not that there's opportunities just waiting for you and you're missing. There's always opportunity for us in life. There's always a different direction we can take, another avenue, another option that's always there. But the problem is we don't see it because we are consumed with seeing things from our perspective or how we think they should be, and not opening ourselves up to thinking that there's more or something different or a different perspective. And so with this card, you're being asked to expand yourself and see through other people's eyes, walk in someone else's shoes, especially if you are dealing with turmoil in relationships or coworkers or whatever that might be. You should absolutely be walking in their shoes. It doesn't mean that you're going to agree with them, and it doesn't mean that you will necessarily fully understand their perspective, but it means you'll have some compassion for why they're in the position they're in and what we can do to find a medium connecting point. Card one, this isn't necessarily tangible. This is more about how you view others, how others view you, and how you connect to the planet, to the earth, which means how do you connect with others. This is a base point of why things for you, to help you determine why you're in the position you're in now and what you're going to do to get to the next step. Okay, card two. Card two is all about change. So for some of you, this is change that came and went pretty fast. For some of you, this is change that is coming, but this is about starting over. This is about a metaphorical death, right? Meaning it's time for you to change. It's time for you to change. So they're saying it's time for you to change your job. It's time for you to change. Hold on. It's time for you to change and stop procrastinating. There's a lot of procrastinating that's happening in this card. And if you don't make a conscious choice to stop that procrastination, if you don't make a conscious choice to move away from that procrastination, then change is going to be forced on you. But if you realize that you need to make changes in your life, and you need to make them soon, and you need to make them fast, and you need to make them smart, you will find that you have more control over what happens and where it brings you. This card is all about change. So change is going to happen whether you manage it or not. When we manage change, it's something that we can take on. It's something that we feel we have control over. So how you manage change is get in meditation and know that it's coming, either because you are going to create it, and it's time to create it, and you know that it's time to create it, or you are going to notice that there's an abrupt shift, something that you didn't expect. Ultimately, this is going to be really good for you, but you have to be open to this shift and this change. Okay, card three. This is a journey that you've been on for a while. It's a journey you've been on by yourself, or you have felt like you've been on it by yourself. It's a journey that you don't even know if you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're not even sure if this is going to be something that you continue, but you're on this path and you're on this journey, and you're hoping that it's going to show itself, meaning do I stay here or do I stop? I feel like this is in response to relationships. I feel like it's in response to personal journeys, spiritual journeys. And there's this moment of silence and aloneness that's been experienced. And if it hasn't, it will be coming. And at that point, you will have the answers that you're looking for. You will have the guidance that you're needing. This journey that you've been on by yourself was supposed to be that way. It was supposed to take place like that. This feeling of feeling alone, feeling a little lost, feeling by yourself is the way it's supposed to be. Yet this journey is about to come to an end. It is going to stop. And so whether this journey was, if more so me describing how you've been experiencing life, or you're very conscious that this has been a journey, very specific, it's about to come to an end. And that end is going to give you, it's like I see you standing on the edge of the cliff and you can jump. Metaphorically, because jumping is going to bring you where you want to go. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So we've got other fun here, basically. What were you feeling like moving on to there?
Do you want to? I kind of feel like talking about Skeleton Crew and last night and all that, and then getting on with our doggies.
Well, exactly. So, of course that. So how about before we touch on that, just as a bit of a teaser, and since also that's a bit of your background, explain that a little bit. Unpack the pets, if you will.
Unpack the pets.
Yes.
I, as you guys know, I rescue special needs animals. Louie, our 3-legged cat, we lost this year, unfortunately. But Daisy, born blind and deaf, 14 years ago, we got her. I have a book that I wrote about her called What About Daisy? And then we have Lily, our kitty with brain damage. You don't see her much because she's a little damaged. They over-vaccinated her. And so she's just not super present. But I have a soft spot for special needs animals. I sit on the board for One Planet Rescue, and I like to help whenever I can. And so today, we're going to be doing a reading on 2 dogs that will be up for adoption soon. I don't believe they are yet, from Animal Hope and Wellness. And they were from the Korean meat trade, where it's still normal and acceptable to eat dog meat. So these 2 dogs, of course, they were rescued out. Obviously, they survived. And so they've got some issues, and we're going to see if I can communicate with them and help get to the bottom of that.
Awesome. So that is coming up shortly. But before we get on to that, then we did have a reference to our good pals, Skeleton Crew Paranormal. We worked with them last night into this morning at the Winchester Mystery House. We've been actually trying to collab with them for quite some time, which, if you know anything about the paranormal community, there is certainly a buzzword that is referred to as para-unity, which I've always been a huge fan of. You're able to support other groups, and ideally that support is sharing equipment, sharing information, sharing evidence, and basically just encouraging, because maybe some are kind of like, hey, my goal is to have a show and to, fame and fortune and stuff like that. But ultimately, the whole reason we really do this is to help people. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it should be about. And so we've been trying to collab with those gals for quite a while, and we had an awesome one last night. Live investigation, Winchester Mystery House. You'd actually gone there, visited there as a child. I haven't had the pleasure of being there. Darren actually went. Well, I don't even think we mentioned this. Literally at this time last year, he.
Oh, really?
So I'm the unlucky one out at this point, basically. But was it, like, comparing from when you were there till now, any Any different?
Yeah, that was, well, I mean, I was a child, and so, but it stuck with me. Like something about it stuck with me. And wait, can I ask this, Rick? Can they still watch it if they buy tickets, $10? How
Yeah.
does that
So,
work? Do we know?
well, so right now, I mean, I was trying to think. I extended the deadline to be able to get a ticket because what we're doing is we're keeping it. You had to be able to get a ticket. It was to support, show support for Winchester Mystery House, and it's an unlisted link, and so some folks weren't going to be able to watch it like live. So we're trying to protect that link, but if anyone who didn't get a ticket still would like to watch it, then just reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll make sure that the tickets are extended a little bit longer to be able to get them, and that way we'll be making the video public, but just to give folks time to honor their ticket purchase.
Okay, I asked solely because I didn't want to go into this big thing and then people can't watch it. I wasn't sure. So yeah, so last night we hung out with Sarah Winchester basically.
Mhm.
Like she was connecting with me before, like the night before at least, and I was trying to not really engage because I wanted to save it for the night, but she was right there. It was like I even joked at one point where it was like I felt like we could have just, I mean, had I not been reading, opened a bottle of wine, and between us and Skeleton Crew and Sarah, she was just right there. Like she's there all the time. So it was really incredible. I mean, it's different, when you go as a child, again, there's like this imprint that it leaves on you. And then as an adult, you can experience it much different. But I understand now why it left like that print, just because of who Sarah is and was. And so it was really amazing. And it was so cool. She's all about strong women, which I thought was fascinating because we had 5 strong women in Skeleton Crew there. So,
Little
and
ladies'
then
night action.
Darren and Rick posed as 2 strong women, so that helped.
Yes, yes,
So
exactly.
that was really cool, and it was like that was not something we were expecting, so it was so much fun.
Mhm. Oh, totally, totally. And so that's where the tie-in there is apparently you had a request to be able to get to. I believe there.
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting because while we were at the house, of course, I had Jennifer, who's in Skeleton Crew, send me a cheat sheet of everyone's names and faces because when we do these events, or investigations, knowing who's investigating can influence things for me because everyone has a connection to everything. And so I know that Jennifer has a specific concern and that she's been working with, and I know it had affected her a little bit last night. If I remember correctly, Jennifer tends to feel things. um, she'll kind of feel a little bit of dizziness, but I know they said that you also experience dizziness regularly, but it seemed like lightheadedness, dizziness is a way for you to connect to the paranormal, a way of you experiencing the paranormal. And I know the girls had mentioned that last night because someone had said, yeah, Jennifer's feeling extra dizzy, even though she typically has like this ongoing experience of vertigo. But it was an unusual amount of dizziness. So anyway, I wanted to kind of unpack that because it's related to her paranormal work. Um, she has a frustrating condition for the past 3 years. She suffered from chronic vertigo already, caused from allegedly. Okay, I suffered from chronic vertigo caused by a vestibular migraine, which started after an industrial accident. So, what's fascinating is, hang on, I'm just looking at her picture again. Is Jennifer is this incredibly rooted, earthy female who's really, really grounded in logic. And I say that as to, let's say, compare her to me, um, where I am very flighty. And I say that in a not in a derogatory, bad way, but just lightheaded. I'm in the ethers, right? That's my go to. My go to isn't grounded, which is why I need hour and a half meditations. Not everyone would need hour-and-a-half meditations, but for me to be grounded is really super important. I say that to help make sense of what Jennifer's experiencing. She's naturally this very rooted, grounded individual. And then you bring this accident into the mix. She mentioned this industrial accident, and now there's vertigo. Now there's spinning. And so the accident wasn't an accident. The accident is what kind of broke her shell to the paranormal world. You don't step into this work and do this work without having a deeper connection to it. I think it's always fascinating and important when people are more rooted in their logic and grounded first, and they step into this world, because you're coming in with a balance. Whereas for me, I was always seeking balance because I came in just like super psychic and intuitive, and I was just always my head in the clouds, right? And so I'm always seeking balance. But when you come in already kind of grounded and logical to open up that door, sometimes you can find that balance. So Jennifer, that accident was meant to happen because it popped open your third eye. And so now you were already experiencing paranormal energy. You already experienced that naturally, which is why you were drawn into this paranormal work and world. But so what's happened is, it's like you are this grounded, rooted person, and then this accident, it's like it almost disconnected the brain from the skull, metaphorically, which kind of broke you open. It's like, oh, okay, it's like I want to say, oh, okay, I'm psychic now. What do I do with this? Now, if I don't know what to do with it, it's going to turn into this spinning experience. I don't know what to do. And so some people, when their psychic ability pops open, they feel it in their stomach, or they feel sick all the time, or they can't be around people. Migraines are common. But for you, you take this energy and you're not consciously doing this. You're taking it and you're just turning it into this spinning energy because you don't know what to do with it. So what you need to do with it is find balance between your logic and your intuition. Vertigo in particular is moving in and out of realms for some people. Vertigo in particular is repressing and not allowing yourself to experience what it feels like to be spirit out of body. Feeling this caged in sense, stuck in this physical body. Now you got to keep in mind, what I'm explaining isn't something that we necessarily consciously get. But feeling trapped inside our bodies is not unnatural, is not unusual. It's actually very natural and very typical if you acknowledge that. For Jennifer, she's being forced to acknowledge it and say, God, being in this body's tough. God, I'm feeling claustrophobic. And so when she's trying to experience outside the body, when she's trying to experience paranormal, psychic experience, when she's almost not only trying to experience it, but having it forced on her now since this accident, she doesn't know what to do with the energy. So the energy starts spinning, which then causes you to spin. So you will have to consciously work to heal, manage, tame this spinning. I'm feeling like there was some permanent damage done, permanent in a super small way. But what that means is there's going to always be this, like you find this incredible daily meditation practice. It works for you. And you're like, God, why every now and then do I still struggle with this physical sense of spinning? That's because there was trauma that's permanent. Can it be healed? Can it be fixed? It can. I'm not sure the approach yet, and they're not telling me because it's not time yet for you to know that. What's time for you to do now is to understand that the spirit is wanting to experience outside the body. There's nothing wrong with that. Just learn how to do that consciously. How do you learn how to do that? Yoga, meditation. Okay. If you practice that in a setting that isn't protected, you can, but it's going to be more challenging, and you're going to have other different challenges than if you set yourself up in your home in a safe space. I use the word protected lightly because we don't want to bar ourselves off from the world and not experience anything, but you're in a safe space energetically, so you can allow yourself to expand, learn what it feels like to be outside of the body, learn what it feels like to be open and intuitive, to feel somebody else. And then, Jennifer, you also want to practice this when you're in public, when you associate the spinning with picking up on energy. And when you start to associate those two, you'll do it logically first. You'll do it with your brain first, understandably, and then start to do it with just this energetic feeling. Just start to feel that connection, and it'll start to bring the spinning down. But this is going to be something that you're going to be working on for a while, because that's part of your life purpose, is to understand your connection to the spirit world, the intensity of it, and then understand your connection to the planet. So give yourself some time. Know that there may be some residual that will still live there, even if you feel like you have found this practice that is really helpful and serving you. There's still this physical, it's like you can break your foot and go, oh, I understand why that happened. I see the lesson, and blah, 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 but you still have a broken foot that you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see the lesson, get it, never do it again, but you still got to wait for the foot to heal. That's where you're at with this injury, is you can start to open up to the lesson and get it and see it and make changes and adjust. You're still having an injury, a physical injury that you're going to need to deal with. And they're saying 3 years. Start to find this connection to spirit now, and then in about 3 years there's going to be an opportunity, or a doctor of some sorts. It may be more of a metaphysical type doctor that's going to actually get rid of this final last bit of dizziness and vertigo. Okay.
Wow, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
But that's awesome there, and also something for Jennifer to be able to chew on, for sure. That's what's always great when you have a lot of revelations and information. And for the other 4 members of that team, again, thanks so much for last night and for joining us, and looking forward to other collabs. But
yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, since last night was a special Unexplained Cases live, our usual coming up tonight, we have yet another investigation, and Mr. Darren Dito has got the deets for us.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Darren Dito from Unexplained Cases Live. Hope you're having a great day. We are going to team up with our good friend Patrick McQuarrie from the Homicide on this episode of Unexplained Cases Live. He's going to take us to one of the craziest places he's investigated, Donovan Mill in Nevada. Yeah, he's seen shadows, heard voices, even had a chair move on its own, caught on camera, but Mill hasn't been visited by our own Maryam the Medium. So let's get down to business and confirm and learn what's really going on at Donovan Mill this Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Unexplained Cases Live. See you then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that one's going to be a little intense.
Spooky.
There is nothing that place does not deliver, I guess would be a better way to put it. Starting off with the whole chair thing, basically.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, and it's really easy to say, oh, he staged that. And like, well, what's nice about that episode is Patrick is very legit, and not only multiple angles show it, but it was all very unpacked how he had absolutely nothing to do with that. So pretty intense investigation.
I want to go back and watch that clip again.
See, well, I think would be even better would be to check out the whole little segment of when it happened. So I
I'm going to ask you to send me that link.
Well, of course. I can put it right to the time code, so you just click right on that, and then there.
Thank you.
Well, sure. That's I'm happy to oblige you and oblige and other versions of that. Next segment, we've got we mentioned it earlier. So you had got some folks talking about that. So some nice,
Yes.
some awesome
We've
little
got
video.
Candy and Kamaj. So these two are, they refer to them as feral in the sense that, hold on, I'm looking something up while we're, one of their photos, a different photo while we're talking. Feral, they can't be on a leash. They don't like being bathed, and but yet they are, bonded with each other. So hold on one sec. I want to see what else. Hang on. I just want to see. I think there was one more. Let's see. Yeah, most important part. They're from the Korean meat market. Scared of everything, can't be leashed or bathed. But they did bond with two of their, I believe these are two volunteers. So I'm going to pull up their, I'm trying to pull up everyone's photos because it's important that I see who the energy of those that they are bonded with, combined with the energy of these dogs. So Kamaj is the black one and Candy is the black and white one. There's this, first of all, those two dogs are I don't know why I'm losing the word right now. Connected soul siblings, soul siblings. I just made up a new word. Soul mates. Oh my gosh, that word was so hard. Soul siblings is so cute though. But that's what they are. They're like they're soul siblings. So if they're not from the same litter, even dogs that come from the same litter, there are a lot of times I don't feel a connection like this with. But they absolutely have that, and they should ideally remain together. They it's interesting because they say like we will fight, like they're typical siblings, like they will irritate each other, but ultimately there's this bond. Okay, now the reason for their inability to connect with humans, except for these two volunteers, that's what I want to see. Hold on. So for them, so for both of these dogs, there's this sensitivity issue that's happening. I'm feeling it more for Kamaj actually, so I'm just going to kind of move to that to over there right now. So there's this sensitivity issue. It's like if you've ever, it's like if you have an open wound. If it rubs up against anything, touches anything, you put peroxide or anything in it, alcohol, it hurts. And so with Kamaj, he's just like this open wound of just like pain, experience, sensitivity. And so there's this need to calm. It's like, this is the hard part, the psychic energy that lives around him. There's a need to manage it, to calm it. How do we do that? God, how do you do that? So there's this, the human that Kamaj is connected with has this ability, which he doesn't realize he has, but like this ability to filter for him the energy coming at him. Like Kamaj can handle outside energy as long as he has some control over it. But when there's this sense of feeling out of control, that's when it's like, and he goes into, what do you call it? This, like they see black. Like there isn't this ability, they can't control what happens next. And so a trainer is going to want to work with him so that he learns that there's something in between, I'm okay. Holy crap, what's happening? I'm scared. I'm blacking out and now I can't function. Obviously, a trainer is going to have to come in and find that middle ground. That's going to take some work. But that's the problem, is they're going 0 to 100. And there needs to be this, I can be in a situation that's stressful and I can be okay. Kamaj doesn't understand that, with good reason from where he's come from. No reason for him to trust anyone or anything or believe that anything would be okay. But now he can learn that. But that's going to take time. And I'm feeling it learned away from Candy, as long as it's not too much stress on either one of them. Just meaning that training time would happen by himself. Because when those two are together, the anxiety gets magnified. They feed off each other. You're right. That's crazy. You're right. That's scary. You're right. Oh my gosh. And so for him to be alone to go through this training will be really helpful, and will actually be able to shift Candy. She's going to respond to him. And I hope Kamaj is a male. I'm sorry if she's a female. That's just the feeling I'm getting right now from Kamaj is masculine. So Kamaj now only knows, okay, this is okay. This is not okay. I don't have a middle ground. So having Kamaj find a middle ground is going to be key. Having this psychic psychic energy that Kamaj experiences, I don't know yet if we can manage that. That's just how he was born. I'm going to leave that for a minute. But this open wound sensitivity, right? Pouring salt in the wound, or, that feeling I expressed earlier, that's where he's at, where everything's, ouch, hurts and is sensitive. So desensitizing, they're saying. Desensitizing. They're saying even like coming up to him with like a stuffed toy and desensitizing with that. I don't know, I'm not a trainer, but they're saying using that toy as a way to desensitize. Again, working with him separate. So finding this middle ground so that he understands that I can be okay, I can be nervous and still okay. And then I no longer have to go to this blackout point to where I can't control what I'm experiencing. I feel so out of control. I just it's this crazy manic place he goes to. To assist with the wound, the open wound, obviously that's time, but definitely the blonde, is a blonde or redheaded volunteer, wow on that bond. Like if that's as much as those two can be together, the better. It's just this energetic healing that happens just as long as they're together. And it's not even that the volunteer needs to do anything, just be there. Be next to him. Be around him. Be in the same space as him. Just be there for a while. Just that is going to start the healing process. It already has started the healing process. Kamaj needs a lot of work, is a high energy dog and a highly psychic dog. This would be a working dog. This would be a therapy dog. This would be a police dog. This is an incredibly profound animal. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. Right now, being with you, with this volunteer, imperative. Stay there. Just take this next year. Could take a year. May not. But if it does take a year, it's because you're going to see that he turns into this very interesting dog that it may take a year because what his purpose is unraveling. There's a lot attached to him, meaning he's a teaching dog. he's a healing dog, but he obviously has to go through his healing process first before he gets to over here. So take your time, be patient, give yourselves a year with him. I'm having trouble disconnecting from him. I'm wanting to move over to Candy, but I can't. I'm staying, like, for some reason, I'm really connected to him. I'm not me connected to him. I'm feeling like I need to stay on his energy. Just, I think the communication is helping him. He's being able to, because he's so psychic, he's feeling this calm and peace as I speak about him and to him. He likes that ability. The more this volunteer can actually speak to him psychically, and the volunteer might go, I don't know what that means. Just feel what you want to say. Don't say it verbally. Just feel it and visualize it going to Kamaj. That'll be helpful. I don't want to say like speaking to Maj with your mind, because it's not. He wants to, he's liking the softness of the psychic communication, which anyone and everyone can do. I'm just right now like talking to him, calming him, explaining to him that he's safe now and that this is a whole different life, that these things that hurt him right now, these painful experiences like the psychic rawness, is actually going to be healed, and it's going to be something he utilizes to be of service. I keep seeing him as a police dog, and keep in mind, police not necessarily meaning actual police. It's some sort of service dog. Like agility, they're saying eventually, not now. But agility is going to be one way that he really feels his power, his strength. It makes him feel safe for some reason, and eventually that will be a really important part of his life. I'm going to consciously disconnect from him because we have time restraint here, but I wanted to look at Candy really quick. They were saying that there's this, she reacts off of Kamaj, so her healing is going to come from his. And she may not necessarily react all the time, like meaning physically, energetically, she's responding from him. And so her change, her shifts are going to come from his. She looks to him for guidance. She looks to him for support. If these dogs could stay together, that would be ideal. Work on Kamaj. Basic training skills, basic human connection with Candy for now. But they're saying it's going to come from Kamaj first. So put your focus there of the things we talked about, and that'll move into Candy. Okay. There's a lot there. So guys, you can email me. But really finding a great trainer, which I'm sure you guys have plenty of them, but that's going to be, I can work with that trainer. I have a trainer. I work with Cora. If you want us both to help, we work together in situations like this, we can. So just let me know.
All right.
Sorry, that took longer than I thought it was going to take.
That was again, a lot of details.
Okay, so let's keep Susan up there, and then I've got Tessa had a question. She was feeling like there was someone communicating with her, like flipping her light on in her bathroom, and so I wanted to be able to answer that question. While I'm pulling her up, I'll answer Susan. Susan's been trying to send healing energy through meditation to a friend, but feel I'm missing something. Can you enlighten me? That's very sweet of you. Why do you feel you're missing something? That's my question. Why are you not trusting that what you're doing is working? Is it because she's not responding? Which, keep in mind, we're not going to always see a physical response when we send someone energy. Sometimes we do. It depends on the situation, on the person. But a lot of times that healing energy is something that's absorbed and doesn't consciously register. But Susan, do me a favor, email me, or if Rick can find you in the chat, tell me why you feel like you're missing something, because I don't feel you are. Tessa, she started working with tarot cards. So this is interesting. She says, I believe I have a history, generational connection to the paranormal, and have been told in the past that my gifts were bound by a very distant woman to protect me. Over the years, I've always felt a pull to these gifts, but have had the spiritual warfare and reluctant to open any box. And then she says, basically, a bathroom heat lamp will go on and off. Doesn't go on by itself. So if I have it on, it will go off and then come back on. So Tessa sent me her picture, so that's why I'm able to read this more in-depth question. I'm going to keep it simple for now. As far as why you were bound, that might be something we either turn into a case or I'll look at separately and we can chat offline, because that seems a little strange to me. I'm not sure why that would happen, and I think we should dig deeper. Everybody has, I'll just sum it up, psychic ability, right? We see, we feel, we hear. All of us do. Everybody. We're spirit first. That is what it is. We can refer to them as gifts if you choose. That's fine. But ultimately, we all have that, and we should all be experiencing it and using it. So Tessa, what I'm going to do is get with you offline. Sorry, because I told you I would do this today. I'm sorry. But I want to find out more about this situation that you mentioned, and we're going to address that. Or does my dad have a message for me? Sandy. Sandy, your dad's saying why he's concerned with your choice of relationships. He's concerned he's concerned that something has affected you. Maybe I'm just guessing here that his passing, but something has affected you that's influencing and affecting your choice of relationship, and you're in relationships. I hope he's not listening or watching, but like I feel like you're choosing relationships that aren't great for you, that aren't perfect for you. And he's concerned about that because he wants to be a positive influence on you. He wants to be able to help you navigate relationships in a clear way. And he's concerned about that. My husband and I are at a crossroads in our lives and careers. Do you have any advice or direction? We are in the creative field. Loaded question. I can see if I can give you a quick, short answer. Your husband's supposed to be doing something different. He's at a crossroads because he's supposed to move away from the direction he's been in and go to a different direction. Actually, it seems super different, like a U-turn almost. That's part of his life's purpose. So that's all the information I'm getting for him. For you, you already know what it is you want to do, but you won't pursue it, or you don't feel you should or could or can, but do it. Okay. Can you please tell me what the future is going to hold for the little boy whose daddy passed away yesterday? He doesn't have, I don't know where okay, that, I'm not sure what, I'd have to find out who the little boy is. I'm not really sure. The questions, there's a lot going on in that question. So you'll have to email me and I'll try to help you. Okay. I'm assuming she's saying I've had a massive mental breakdown in the past due to a failed marriage. Am I going to have a better life in the future? only you can create a better life for yourself. And only you can answer that question. But you don't know who you are when you're not in a relationship. You need to know who you are as an individual before you go into another relationship. What will help you have a better life is understanding who you are as an individual, they're saying. You only relate to you only know who you are when you're in relationship, whether that's relationship is with a best friend or a partner. There's just this sense of not knowing who you are unless you're in relationship, and you need to be independent and learn about who you are and what makes you great. Why do I constantly dream about my deceased husband 17 years ago? Stacy, he even showed up in an investigation we did. Is there a specific message for me? Is that the Skeleton Crew shirt I see?
That's Stacy. Yeah. We did manage to get two of them on the show today.
Stacy, why is he? Stacy, your husband keeps showing up because he is what? Okay. They're saying, it's kind of confusing. They're saying that he is like a tangible connection to the world of the paranormal, like something like you can make sense. How do I say this? I don't remember if you were the one that was the skeptical one, but they're saying that you are, it's like you need to be shown, like, so we can't, you're trying to prove the paranormal, right? Like your husband is proof that you can communicate with the other side. And so that's why he's constantly there. He's like this tangible proof. Okay, look, this exists. This can happen. And that's why he's always there. Once you open up to all spirits and energies, and you do that through meditation, you do that through a daily practice, you do that through your work, your investigation work. Once you realize that there's so many spirits around, they're all there, you just aren't seeing them, this will die down. Not that it needs to, because honestly, he's also one of your guides, and he's there to be of service to you and guide you. And so he's like, hello, talk to me. I want to help. How can I help? I'm here to help you. I want to help you. It's not because you aren't letting go. It's not because you shouldn't move on or can't move on or haven't moved on. Not at all. This is great. This is where you want these relationships to go, to where you had this life experience with him. He's passed on to the other side. He realizes who he is, what he's supposed to do next. And part of that is being of service to you. Okay, there's so much more there, but there. Do you see either one of my side businesses actually booming? Jolene. Yes. I was just going to say the one on the right. I don't know which one that is. I was seeing two side businesses. I was seeing one on the right, one on the left. One, yes, but is it earrings or jewelry or something? I don't know. It's shiny. Sorry, that may be way off, but if there's something that one, whichever one is connected to, it's like beauty or jewelry or something. That's the one that's going to start picking up some steam for you. We lost our dog. Forget it. You lost me. When it comes to animals, I'm going to cry. We heard her run up the stairs day after she died. God bless. She never forgot her 10 years. I still miss her. She came from the mother and father we had. We kept her. I love her. I hope she knows. Yeah, she's actually, I need their name and a photo, but I felt her right away. She's right there with you guys. She's right there with you. She's like sitting right next to you right now. She's going to be there for a while. And then she's going to pass, and she's going to be able to be of service as your guide. My dad passed almost 21 years ago at the age of 40. I am now his age at his passing. I'm still very heartbroken over his passing. Does he have a message for me? Please and thank you. Selena. Oh, so Selena, my little girl. You guys had so many past lives together, which is why his passing was so hard. You guys are soulmated, so you'll continue as we do with most people in our lives, but for some of us it's a stronger connection than others. It's going to be important for you to find your daily practice because you two have to start communicating so he can start guiding you through the heartbreak, guiding you through this relationship in this lifetime so you can clear the karma. You've had karma with him in the past of losing him, and you struggle with getting over it. You have to clear that, and the only way to clear that is learn to communicate with him in the spirit world. Get tarot cards, they're saying, ask questions, play with the cards. How your dad will connect with you through them. He'll be speaking through the cards. If you have to clear this karma of seeing death differently, trusting that all of our spirits are connected and will remain that way. We just need to open up and hear each other. You just need to learn to have a relationship with your father where you're in body and he's spirit, and know that that bond can be just as powerful as when you're both in body.
All right. Well, I believe that is all we have time for today. So anyone else like the old ticker tape, as they used to say, says, be sure and send it to that email address right there. See, it's scrolling. Yeah. So send it right there, and we'll be able to put that on next week's show. But everybody, as always, thank you so much for being here today. And
see you
tonight, 10 o'clock.
Bye, Rick.
7 o'clock Pacific. Bye-bye, everybody.